So we get together for our annual picnic at the 406 Cruiser Club, and my friend Matt, pictured there, invites me to join the vintage cruiser run. Basically, it's the older trucks climbing high with carbureted motors. They might need some fuel-injected rigs to tug them out of things. But I wanted to fit in, so I made a little modification, pictured there. The trail itself heading up to the reservoir, I wouldn't say is overly technical, but there are places you certainly want to stay alert, as seen here. A little bit of wheel spin, a little more gas, tapping the slider, and we're through it. Now I go and take my turn with my son. So this is your point of view going up the hill. So far, so good. Kind of like the music grooving, don't you? Here we have Aaron taking pictures. You can find his information at Backcountry Adventure Time. And now you can watch me try and struggle through a couple rocks with 33-inch tires. Little bit of tire spin. 33-inch tires aren't liking this so much. Engage the locker, take another run at it. Aaron's like, more skinny pedal, push that thing down. I give a gas, I channel, more power you need. And what do you know? A little more gas, a little more locker, eventually over the rock. What's the best line through here? Kind of where me?
Your passenger on that high point right there.
There's a slider. There's a slider. That's a good slider.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Okay.
Now back driver. Yeah, right there, straight ahead. Here you go.
If you want to know where to spend money on a build, sliders, bumpers, and probably skid plates. Then tires. Here we have a 17-year-old girl going out, showing us the proper line that we should have taken. In all honesty, she probably should have gone first and given us all a driving lesson. This is where I wanted to go back and edit the video, then channel Batman in the Lego movie. First try! Look how easy that looks. That's a stock 22RE motor too. And now we go and we find mud. When you go up to this reservoir, be prepared for mud. More mud, more mud, more mud. This is honestly where the General Grabber mud terrain tires just excel. They did great. Now we're going through the woods. Let's see how the runner does.
Expertly done.
Thanks, man. Had to wait and keep the compliment in, didn't I? Now we gotta go over that little stump, which is kind of scary as you don't know if you're gonna puncture a tire, as you can see in this picture. Ron does it like it's no problem in that thing. That's a cruiser with a 302 Ford V8. Wild build. If you ever see him on the side of the road or see him in a parking lot, he's a really cool dude. See if he'll show you the headliner in his cruiser. It's a remarkable build. Really well done.
Good boy, Sting.
Here we go through some more mud. And I would recommend making sure your windows are closed before doing this. Not that I'd be that dumb. There's a little janky bridge that we have to go across. And here I am attempting it. If you do this trail, I was saying to the guys, like, why don't we just go through the little river crossing or little brook crossing? It's barely even a river. So a couple of my friends took sticks and shoved them down. And basically where you see that runner or where it was and where you have the cruiser behind it, now the 62 series cruiser there, it's basically a floating mud bog. So if you break through the top layer, you just sink. And you're going to hate life, and you're probably going to kill your winch trying to get out of it. So just word to the wise, this section here by this bridge, you do not want to spin your tires. You do not want to break through that. Although if you do, I might be entertained. Here we basically go through the woods some more, and finally we arrive at the reservoir. This place is totally worth the view. There the boys will be boys, sharing a rock, and there's a beautiful runner. I've since lifted the front end a little bit. Here we go, getting out of the reservoir and heading back. Once again, heading through another car wash, making sure the car's nice and clean with the muddy water. Through the woods, around some trees, up some hills.
That water hole was fun. Part of me just wants to go back and forth through that for like 10 more times.
I'll follow.
It's funny that we say in the forum we hate mud,
Man, it's gorgeous.
but yet when it comes to mud, we just want to play. This trail, even though it's not the most technical, and I'm not somebody who's a hardcore wheeler. In fact, most people would say I'd rather wash my truck than drive it, but that might be true. Anywho, the views on this trail are phenomenal. This is a trail where I might just want to come back, park somewhere, maybe towards the top, and just hike around, get out in the woods, check it out.
You're still recording.
Yep.
And the other thing to note about these mud holes, if you do this, there are little rocks hiding in different places. I may or may not have put in some more Mater memory marks on my skid plates. And these hill climbs are a lot muddier and steeper than you think. The video really doesn't do it justice.
Rally it, rally it, rally it.
There we have Matt doing some rallying, baby.
I hit the skid plate. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I may have done a little Mater memory maker.
I don't like the top crunches. That's what scares me.
Yeah, this is where we drove around.
Yeah, I don't think that was a wise decision.
Remember what I said about the little rock slider thing? Yeah, I needed to do some touching up when I was done. But I'll tell you what, I'm totally glad I have them. And you can hear the brakes making some fun noises after going through the mud.
I think the two last vehicles is falling off a bit.
I think we just touched our bumper to that
To the what?
rock.
Okay, we can hang for a smidge.
Remember that fun bridge? Here we go again. You really do not want to drop a wheel off that and have it fall into the mud. Yeah, your friends would not be happy with you.
You know what?
Here we have a bit of a traffic jam. Aaron decided to go through the 6-foot puddle, and it was pretty entertaining. However, some of us need to use our car when we get back, and we don't really have the option of, like, I don't know, sinking it, burying it. Here we are, some more mud, and remember, I learned my lesson. Sometimes there might be rocks hiding in the bottom of these things. You can see Matt struggling to climb out of there a little bit. My locker and mud terrain tires just did phenomenal. It was so nice to just have that on and off. And I was using some of the A-track, which, I don't know, the A-track just makes it sound like you're about to, like, crack something or blow something up.
Nice.
This thing just crawls right up it.
Yeah, it did.
So this is where we're climbing up the hill, that if you remember after we went through the, I don't know if I'd call it really technical, but probably one of the more technical parts of the trail. When you get to the top of that, this was the hill we came down. So when we crest this, we're going to have to be going over the rocks. And again, man, you just hear the rock sliders going kung, kung, kung as you're going up. Not all of it came through with the camera, but man, it's such a bad sound. But I was impressed with how they performed because, man, I got back. Nothing was dented. Well, the skid plate had a few little love taps on them. But other than that, I mean, really, I had some scratches on the sliders, but that's about it. Just some touch-up paint. Like that. I was honestly surprised that the rear bumper was still attached. I thought for sure I was going to crack off the plastic at the end of this trail, but even the mud flaps, by and large, made it. I had to remove part of one, and I haven't replaced it to date. Here we are going down the fun stuff. I hate that sound. I know the guys tell me, hey man, as you drive it more, you get used to the sound and it doesn't sound as bad. Personally, not a fan. I'm getting better with it, still not a fan.
Not so bad.
Powers of the Forerunner.
That's our little inside joke as we go along. We drive a Yoda, so we say, hey, may the four-wheel drive be with you. It'd be really cool if it was a Millennium Falcon and it had hyperspace. One could hope. I think they tried that, the latest Tundra. Didn't seem to work so well. New engine you need. Warranty you have. My Yoda sounds like a love child between Grover and Kermit the Frog. Enough of that. We're heading back, airing up tires, basically to the point where we started. Hey, thanks for watching. Till we meet again, may the Lord's blessing and peace be upon you.